Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why you might be missing out on those perfect career opportunities? Like why recruiters just seem to gloss right over your name, even though you know you have all the right experience? Well, I've got some tough love for you today. Your digital storefront is practically invisible. And the main culprit? It's sitting right there at the absolute top of your page.
And you want to know the wild reason why? 70. That is the exact number of characters you actually have before your headline gets brutally cut off on mobile devices and in search results. You might think you have plenty of room to introduce yourself and tell your whole story, but the reality out there in the wild is much, much harsher.
Welcome to This Explainer. I am super thrilled you're here. Today, we are going to take that passive, generic job title of yours and completely transform it into a highly strategic, algorithm-pleasing digital storefront. So let's dive right into this and unlock the true potential of your LinkedIn headline.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We are going to cover the 220-character real estate, decode that mysterious search algorithm, bust the buzzword trap, reveal some winning headline formulas you can copy, and finally talk about how to test, optimize, and iterate.
All right, let's jump straight into part one, the 220-character real estate.
So, on paper, officially, LinkedIn gives you 220 characters for your headline on a desktop and 240 on mobile. Sounds like a lot, right? But the trap is in the visual truncation, or what we in the biz call the fold. When you pop up in search results, or when someone's scrolling on their phone, your text gets chopped off around 60 to 70 characters with this merciless little ellipsis. This is exactly why you absolutely must front-load your most critical information. If a recruiter only sees your first few words, it has to be compelling enough to make them want to click. Really, your headline is doing two jobs at once. The front half catches the human eye, and the back half feeds the search engine. Moving right along to part two, decoding the search algorithm.
Look, LinkedIn's algorithm isn't some mystical magic trick. It's just a measurable retrieval system, and it's grading you based on a few key factors. Keyword relevance is massive here, and your headline is heavily prioritized over the rest of your profile. Then it looks at profile completeness and connection proximity, meaning are you a direct first-degree connection to the searcher, or maybe a second degree? It's also checking your activity level, like are you actually posting and engaging with people? And finally, exact match indexing. Basically, it isn't just about looking good to a person, it's about feeding the machine exactly what it's hungry for.
And I really want to emphasize just how powerful this headline real estate is. Get this. A keyword placed in your headline is estimated to carry 3 to 5 times more weight than that exact same word buried down in your About or Experience sections. Let that sink in. This means your headline is literally ground zero for your professional SEO strategy. It is way more than just a title. It is the single most heavily weighted metadata tag for your professional identity.
You also have to remember that the algorithm has a very strong bias for exact phrasing. Think of it as being super literal. If a recruiter types data engineer into the search bar, a profile that has the exact contiguous phrase data engineer sitting right in the headline is going to rank way, way higher than a profile that just has the word data floating around in one place and engineer in another. You have got to use the precise phrases your target audience is searching for. No synonyms, no clever paraphrasing, just give them the exact match.
Okay, on to part three, busting the buzzword trap. Oh boy, let's look at these beauties. Passionate, strategic, results-driven, and oh man, my personal favorite, synergy enthusiast. I mean, come on, who isn't a synergy enthusiast, right? Actually, scratch that. Nobody talks like that in real life. These are those default, overused adjectives that just require zero thought. To a busy recruiter scanning profiles in 2026, these words are practically invisible. They don't make you stand out, they eat up your precious character count, and honestly, they just make you sound like a generic corporate press release. We need to strip these out of your vocabulary entirely.
Let's put this into perspective. Compare a super vague title, like Marketing Manager at Acme Corp, with something verifiable, like Marketing Manager, scaling B2B software annual recurring revenue by 3x. Boom! Just like that, you've swapped out the fluffy adjectives for a hard, verifiable metric. It instantly proves your value to the actual human scanning the page. Remember this, in 2026, the most valuable word in your entire profile isn't passionate, it's a number.
Which brings us to part 4, winning headline formulas. Let's get practical.
A truly great headline isn't just a label, it's a pitch. And the best ones follow a really simple 3-step anatomical formula. Step 1, your role. This is your exact match keyword, giving the algorithm what it wants. Step 2, value or outcome. Who exactly do you help and what tangible result do you deliver for them? And step 3, proof or differentiator. This is where you drop in a hard number or a unique piece of authority. When you combine these 3 elements, you are answering literally every single question a profile visitor has, and you're doing it in under 200 characters.
Let's actually see this formula in the wild. Instead of just writing a basic sales rep, try applying the formula. Let's do sales development representative at B2B fintech. Boom, there's your exact match keyword. Then add multi-channel pipeline generation for the value and cap it off with some quantifiable proof. 200 plus demos per quarter. See the difference? That stops the scroll because it's concrete and it immediately proves your competence.
And hey, this works just as perfectly for creators and freelancers too. A simple freelance copywriter transforms entirely when you add your specific audience and your services, like this. Freelance copywriter for impact-driven brands, SEO-friendly blogs, ghostwriting. Notice how it explicitly names the target audience and lists the exact services. Also, do you see those vertical pipes acting as clean visual separators? They make the headline incredibly easy to scan for a hiring manager who's moving 100 miles an hour.
Let's do a rapid-fire summary of the formatting best practices so you get this exactly right. First, always front-load your most important keywords and your value prop in those first 60 to 70 characters. Use pipes or bullet points to break up the ideas visually. Skip the emojis, they just clutter up your search visibility and can look a bit unprofessional if you overdo it. Avoid all caps for sure, because nobody likes being shouted at online. And finally, rely on high-value nouns, like your actual hard skills and job titles, instead of those fluffy adjectives. Keep the whole thing clean, scannable, and densely packed with value.
Finally, part 5. Test, optimize, and iterate. Here's a little insider secret for you. Your headline is basically a gold mine for B2B sales teams and recruiters who scrape this platform's data in bulk to build prospecting lists. But automated scrapers often truncate data around 120 characters, and if you use weird special characters like an ampersand, it can cause HTML errors that totally corrupt your data in their systems. So, keeping your headline clean, avoiding strange symbols, and putting the absolute best stuff early ensures that when they do scrape your profile, they extract your actual value, instead of just a garbled mess of code.
So how do we know if your new headline is actually working? Well, you treat it like a scientific experiment. We call this iterative optimization. What I want you to do is write out 2 or 3 variations of your headline using the formulas we just went over. Put one up on your profile, and then for the next 2 weeks, just watch your analytics. Are your profile views going up? Are the connection requests you're suddenly receiving actually from your target audience? Use that data feedback to find the absolute best, most effective version of your professional pitch.
Which brings us to the end of this explainer, and I'm going to leave you with a challenge. I want you to open your profile right now. Look at it on your phone. What do your first 70 characters actually say about you? Are you just a generic title taking up space, or are you a quantifiable solution? Do not let your next big career opportunity scroll right past you just because you ran out of room. Fix that digital storefront today, and I'll see you in the next one.